Paul saying, oh yeah, one of us has to die, thinking it's some catchy sound bites just to promote the fight in general. Shame on him for saying that.
Mike Tyson from Marvis Frazier fought Jake Paul. Jake Paul's dead. He's dead. He's not.
Boxing pros have brutally threatened Jake Paul ahead of his fight with Mike Tyson. Former cruiserweight world champion Johnny Nelson recently voiced his belief that Jake Paul is resorting to picking opponents well past their prime. Nelson raises eyebrows at Paul's selection of opponents who seem to have retired long ago, suggesting it's all part of the problem child's calculated game plan. Nelson said, "I know Mike, and I think what Jake Paul has done is buy scalps. You saw Jake Paul beat Anderson Silva. Do you think Jake Paul would have been able to do that against Anderson Silva? We know the young version that was at the top of his game, but he couldn't have." Nelson's assertion that Jake Paul is engaging in buying scalp tactics by selecting opponents who seem to have retired long ago raises pertinent questions about the legitimacy of Paul's victories and his overall approach to the sport, specifically citing Paul's victory over Anderson Silva. Nelson suggests that Paul's success may be attributed more to strategic matchmaking than genuine skill and prowess in the ring. He added what he'd done again. He's buying a scalp from Mike Tyson. We know Mike, we respect him, and we know how tremendous this man was and how much he dominated the heavyweight division. Jake Paul has bought a scalp, and Nelson's observation that Paul is now targeting Mike Tyson as his next opponent further underscores the controversial nature of Paul's choices by choosing to face Tyson, a legendary figure in the sport whose glory days are behind him. Paul risks tarnishing his own reputation and credibility as a legitimate boxer. Nelson's characterization of Paul's pursuit of Tyson as buying a scalp implies that Paul is seeking to capitalize on Tyson's name and reputation for his own gain, rather than engaging in a genuine competitive contest. Nelson further added to Tyson, "If he's going in for the money, well, go on, go for anything other than the money. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Sincerely, if you're going in for the money, then it means I don't care if I get turned over. I don't care what happens to me. I'm getting paid $50 million. I'm 57 years old, and I'm getting paid $50 million to fight." Nelson's comments regarding Mike Tyson's decision to step back into the ring at the age of 57 also warrant consideration. While Tyson's return to boxing has garnered significant attention and excitement from fans, Nelson expresses concern about Tyson's motivations, particularly if they are primarily financial in nature. Nelson's warning to Tyson about the potential consequences of a poor performance in the ring highlights the risks associated with competing at an advanced age, both in terms of physical health and legacy. If that's what he's going to do, and that's what he's comfortable doing, that's on him. But I am telling you now that if he gets turned over and turned over badly, it will haunt him for the rest of his life. The $50 million in the bank is not going to make any difference. Furthermore, Nelson's candid assessment of the potential outcome of the bout between Tyson and Paul reflects the uncertainty surrounding the matchup, while Nelson expresses hope that Tyson will emerge victorious. He acknowledges the possibility that Paul will succeed in his pursuit of a high-profile scout. This acknowledgement underscores the unpredictability of boxing and the challenges faced by aging fighters like Tyson in their quest for redemption and financial gain. Nelson mentioned Mike Tyson is older than his dad. Mike Tyson is my age, so he's just buying a scalp, and so I don't like to see it, but it's going to happen, and I hope Tyson knocks him out, but I don't think that's going to happen. Speaking to Boyle Sports, Tony Bellew explained why he was against the fight and even threatened Jake Paul if he hurt Tyson. Bellew's candid remarks regarding the upcoming bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul provide a stark commentary on the state of modern boxing and the risks associated with high-profile matchups. Bellew, a former professional boxer himself, pulls no punches as he expresses his reservations about the fight and his concerns for Tyson's well-being. He said Mike is probably getting between $20 and $50 million for this fight. I'm not going to lie, I'd do it. Everyone has a price, but if Jake Paul hurts Mike Tyson, it would absolutely kill me. If he hurt Mike Tyson, and then I ran into Jake Paul, I'd chin him quite happily. I would even spend a couple of weeks in the big house for that. Mike Tyson underscores the gravity of the situation despite acknowledging the allure of the significant payday that Tyson stands to receive. Bell's loyalty to Tyson and his respect for the sport of boxing compel him to speak out against what he sees as a potentially dangerous mismatch. Bell added, "It's a sad, sad day. It's not really a professional contest because only women fight 2-minute rounds. Men do not fight for 2 minutes, but Jake Paul is so pie-headed he wants it to go on Mike Tyson's record. Hopefully, Mike chins him and puts him to sleep in 6 or 7 seconds." The former cruiserweight world champion's characterization of the bout as a sad day reflects his disappointment with the direction in which boxing is heading. Bell's assertion that the fight lacks the professionalism expected in the sport, particularly with regards to the duration of the rounds, highlights his belief that the matchup is more about spectacle and entertainment than genuine competition. He continued, "The age Tyson is at, he could be Jake Paul's grandfather, so it's really sad. It should have been left as an exhibition. But that's who Jake is, he's after clout and fame. I just hope Mike has that one punch left in him. He will never lose that punch. He's lost the snap and sharpness of it, but if he turns a right hand over and hits Jake Paul on the chin, the boy is going to sleep." Bellow's criticism of Jake Paul's motivations for pursuing the fight underscores the perceived opportunism of the YouTube star. Bellew suggests that Paul's desire for clout and fame outweighs any concern for the well-being of his opponent, echoing broader concerns within the boxing community about the integrity of the sport in the age of social media influencers. Despite his reservations, Bell holds out hope that Tyson, despite his age, still possesses the power to deliver a decisive blow. Bellow's faith in Tyson's legendary punching ability serves as a reminder of the enduring legacy of the former heavyweight champion, even as he prepares to step back into the ring in his late 50s. Bellew added, "But at 58 years old, it's frightening. This is show business. This really isn't boxing. I don't think Netflix cares about Mike's health. They generated $25 billion last year. Netflix doesn't give it __ about Mike Tyson. No one cares, and the saddest part is that Mike knows that he's been there, done it, and got the t-shirt. Now, we know that Jake Paul has stated unequivocally that he did not choose to advocate for his fight against Mike Tyson to be fought as a professional match." Paul expressed his sentiments on his podcast, emphasizing his contentment that their anticipated confrontation would be duly recorded. However, he stressed his preference for Tyson to ultimately determine the outcome now that it has been confirmed as a problem. The child has said multiple times that it is now, with his opponent's blessing, a war. A fresh statement from the 27-year-old has ignited discussions once more, underscoring the gravity of this bout under professional regulations and emphasizing his unwavering commitment. Paul said that as soon as the fight turned into a pro fight, one of them had to die. "As soon as it turned into a pro fight, one of us had to die," in a fresh upload on YouTube. Michael Bisping shared his candid response to the latest developments and sound bites emerging from the recent press conference surrounding the upcoming fight. The ex-middleweight title holder has harbored a long-standing aversion toward Paul, a sentiment that evidently persisted upon the revelation of his upcoming bout against a sporting legend 3 decades his senior, specifically Bisping. Obedient to Paul's statement that one of them has to die when they square off at Arlington, Texas's AT&T Stadium, Bisping expressed his disapproval, stating that it was shameful of Jake to make such comments. He emphasized the seriousness of the matter, highlighting that many boxers lose their lives annually and emphasizing that boxing is not a casual endeavor but a real and deadly sport.
Shame on him for saying that. Shame on him for saying that and taking these words so lightly, because the reality is a lot of boxers die every single year. It's not a game that you play. You don't pick it up and put it down. You're not a part-time boxer, okay? This is a real sport, a deadly sport, one of the most vicious, and it's a sport where a lot...
Bisping proceeded to address the somber events that unfolded just a day prior to the press conference. Tragically, a British boxer lost his life during his professional debut, succumbing after collapsing in the ring. The paramedics on the scene took 29-year-old Sheriff Lewell to a hospital, but he tragically passed away unexpectedly.
This Sunday in London, a boxer making his professional debut died. 29 years old, making his professional debut, Sharif Lawal, at the end of the 4th round. Sadly, that was it. It wasn't just the end of the fight. It was the end of his...
Notably, Joe Rogan, a staunch admirer of Tyson's prowess, has recently voiced his thoughts on the matter. Rogan extended an invitation to Maniscalco to join him on his renowned JRE podcast. As their conversation unfolded, they found themselves swiftly delving into the buzz surrounding the impending clash between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. True to form, Rogan, echoing the sentiments of many pundits, offered his insights into the highly anticipated showdown. The pugilist in the annals of boxing who exuded the magnetism of Mike Tyson. The exalted heavyweight titan became synonymous with devastating knockouts and sheer power during his zenith. Check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.